Happy Thursday. Thursday is the day ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance. And so, happy Thursday. Now, today, I was moving through the morning feeling pretty exhausted from yesterday, like some residual coming into today. And so just feeling that in the morning, but really giving myself permission to move slower. Hi, Diana, love and hearts to you too, beautiful sister. And so giving myself permission to move slower. And that is a huge gift of self-love, when you allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, to move as slowly as you need, or to press forward as much as you need, but also to hold yourself accountable. Today is the full moon, and this full moon energy is super intense, and full moons are always about release, letting go, right? Because we're building up this emotional buildup that we just had, finally moving out of the retrograde and the eclipse season and then summer solstice. This was about like the permanent closing of certain doors. And so like that extreme shedding process can feel scary, right? Sometimes we think that we're pruning back so much that we will just wither and die because we've cut back so much. But really we've opened ourselves to and expanded to this new level. And so Thursday, the day of abundance, because it's a day led by Jupiter, just feel into that energy coming into this full moon. Like, what little bit of grit and residual shit do you need to let go of? Because a lot of times we hold on to toxic or old because we feel like we've cut back so much already, and we've pruned off and pulled off dead ends and dried up leaves off of our beautiful plant, that it will no longer blossom or thrive. And that's just not true. We are resilient beings, and the more we cut back that is not serving our highest path, the more we can hold when it's time for grace to hit us on the backswing. And so just feel into that for yourself, because that's a lot of the messages that were coming through for me today. And I let myself go back to sleep. I actually got up, it was like 7:45, and I said, nah, fuck this. And I went back to bed. So anyhow, the ascended masters that showed up for me today are the Commander Ashtar, the call to action, saying that it is recognized that I walk the talk, and that my just being and holding myself accountable is a call to action to all of those who share space with me or hear the things I say. And that's powerful shit, because that's my path and purpose. And so if I'm not effective at what I'm doing, the path that I actually chose in the human experience, then I have to make sure that I'm in alignment with that. And so that's the affirmation, that I am in alignment. And this, Archangel Haniel and Archangel Jophiel be like all up in my carpools all the time. And so she showed up again, clear my space. And I actually did clear my space since I've had that visitor. But I'm going to look into her more the same way I did with Haniel, and see what kind of energy she's bringing in that she keeps showing up. Because perhaps it's her. Just like Archangel Haniel, perhaps it's not so much the message that the deck is bringing, but more the energy of these ascended beings that I need to pay attention to. So I'm actually going to be doing that today. And that's a good idea when you have repeating cards. Like, always read and reread the messages. And if they're still not resonating, connect with the actual being, so that maybe you can get the downloads that you need from them, connect from them. And this is interesting because when he shows up, there's a very specific male that tends to show up. And this very specific male just happens to be the one that She said, clean your space, sister. So I'm very interested to see if maybe this is preceding a visit. But I guess we gonna see what we gonna see. So I'm kind of trying not to be on guard, because as Spirit told me the other night, close your eyes and open your hands. Maybe this is bringing in something completely new that I don't want to have expectations around this just because I've seen it before. I want to not pretend that I know what I think I know. And so this is where we have to let go of our humanness to say, oh shit, right? And say, oh no, that's not what this means. This means it's going to be something completely new. I let go of what I think I know. So the dream, something will be revealed. And so I love this because it's saying that I will receive a message that will change the face of my existence, that will be profound, right? Things will be revealed to me that are going to be profound. And I'm like all about that business. So let's go. Eyes closed, hands open. And loosen your grip. And so this is letting go of attachment, right? So this is perfect that this showed up after I got these, because I was all in my head like, oh shit, what do I need to do? Should I shield myself? What's happening? And this is like, oh no, let go of what you think you know and just move forward. Okay, there's a smackdown, sister. And then your commitment is being tested. So like, wow. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, these are the messages that I get and how I hold myself accountable. So like when I'm doing healing sessions with my clients and teaching and doing all of these things, I don't ever tell someone to do something that I myself have never done. And it was the same way as a medical practitioner when I was seeing my own patients. I would never tell my patients to do something that I haven't done myself. And which one's the beautiful card? The foul-mouthed Buddhist. I love your post, by the way. This deck is really pretty. And it's all like goddess energy in this deck. Look, I'll show you. It's the Gaia Oracle deck by Tony Carmine Salerno. Beautiful deck. That was gifted to me by a friend, but beautiful artwork on that deck. So, yeah, I really like that deck. It is beautiful, but they're all like goddess energy, just like this. The beautiful feminine form. And so my sacred geometry today is the infinity. And I love when this card shows up. No, thank you. I love when this card shows up because people talk about, oh, it's infinite and I love you infinitely. And so we think we know what infinity is or infinite means because it's been overused. The same way I love you has been used. But when you say it, like really saying it, it's different and it's understood differently and felt differently. So infinite actually means beyond measure. It is unfathomable. So if you tell someone, oh, I love you infinitely, or if you look them in the eyes and say, I love you beyond measure. Ooh. Hits different, right? And so just feel into the power of our voice, our vibration, our frequency. And so the infinity showing up for me as a sacred geometry, it's reminding me that I already know that my reach is beyond my fathoming. And so that's also like the other cards that I showed you from the earlier pull, that I need to let go of what I think I know. Or because I do have this path and purpose here to be a spiritual teacher, but I always think like, how can I reach more? But really, my work is more of like a domino effect. If I teach someone and help them remember who they are and they become aligned, they in turn get to be of the divine service that they're here to do. And that's my reach. And to me, that's like unfathomably important and aligned. And I am so grateful for that. And so Message in a Bottle showed up again. I need to show y'all how I shuffle the cards, because it would blow your damn mind to see how these cards keep showing up for me, how I shuffle these decks. Like crazy, 50 or more cards in these decks and the same ones keep showing up. But Message in the Bottle, and this is beautiful artwork on this deck too. But this deck is like savage. It'll call me out in a heartbeat. But this one, I mean, this is a good message. This is telling me that I will be receiving a message that will change the face of what I am experiencing, which is the same as this. It's echoing the same exact message as the dream. So I'm closing my eyes and opening my hands, and Howlight is my partner today. Howlight talks about reason, and this is a good one. It's a good reminder for me, because I have experiences that no one else does. Yes, Eternal Diana, thank you. I have experiences that no one else does, and they can be pretty damn magical. And so like setting goals for me is very different than the normal, what the fuck is normal? Right? So the example that this uses is you want to fly, right? But you're not going to go and just jump off the cliff. And so reason brings that divine self into our human self, and it sets the spirituality and practicality into harmony. And so I like that, because I do have a hard time being human. And I always remind myself, like, what usually reminds me most is in relationship, because I tend to work off of potential, because I see this true spirit and nature of a person, but I'm not taking them for their human, and I need to do that. I need to get way better at being human in the selection process. And so Howlight is a good ally for that, and I have to remember, like, this is a good one. And Howlight's beautiful. This Howlight is often used as fake turquoise. They usually dye this one to become turquoise, but its energy is so different than turquoise. Turquoise is almost this beautiful and creamy electric energy that stimulates all chakras, and it's really like a powerful ally in integration and healing. Whereas Howlight, it's so gentle, and it's a peaceful energy, but like I said, it brings the divine self and the human self into harmony. So it really does help the human experience. So it's not as healing as turquoise, it's more calming, and it's a harmonizer. I mean, that's the best way I can think to even describe Howlight, but it's a completely different energy. So when you're buying turquoise, like, feel into how you feel when you're holding it. A lot of times that's how you can tell if it's real turquoise or not. Does it feel like this creamy, gentle current, or is it more of like an electric motion? And that's the difference between Howlight and turquoise. Anyway, just a little factual. But the culmination of today's spread is the Sacred Soul Sister. And the Sacred Soul Sister is actually me. So it talks about my human self being in full communion with my higher self, which is lovely, because then that just echoes the message of Howlight, like harmonizing the human experience and seeing that. So basically, really, that's today's spread. Really telling me to let go of what my human thinks it knows, and that even if it feels familiar, it's not. That everything will be new. This is the Rumi deck. This is so beautiful, Foul-Mouthed Buddhist. This is a beautiful deck. It's the Alana Fairchild Rumi. I'll tell you what, this deck has me ugly cry more than any other deck. It's a beautiful deck. Like, whew. And the artwork is lovely. It's like a lot of watercolors in this one. Really pretty. Really pretty deck. But I love the backside. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like tapestry. I love that. So that's one of the things that drew me to it. And I love Rumi anyway, but yeah, I'll be like boogers and all crying reading when I pull cards from that deck. But this basically is telling me that this is me. And that whenever I move into something, okay, so it's telling me also, your higher self will never share something that you already know, because it wants you to be curious and to be the explorer. So your higher self will never draw you into information by giving you what you already know. So one, you have to become comfortable with knowing what you know, even though no one else is saying what you know, and even though you have no, like, what is that? Like footnotes, like this is source, like source is what I know and how I know. But just because it didn't come out of some dusty book or a quote by someone that you really respect outside of me, yes, you don't need the validation. So it tells you that your higher self will never give you something that you already know. It wants you to stay curious, and it wants you to learn how to trust again. That's really about surrendering to the unknown. It's your ally, it's your friend, because it's teaching you to trust. It's teaching you to trust again. And so that's also the harmonizing of our divine self and our human self. Our human self is the one that stays guarded and doesn't want to trust and wants to like figure out what's going on and say, oh, this feels familiar. Yeah, I already know what's going on, right? Like shaking the present, like I talked about yesterday. Like, why do we shake a present? Don't you want to be surprised? And so when Spirit told me in breath work the night before, close your eyes and open your hands, that shit made me emotional, because I was like, damn, that's right. Going into the energy of that, when someone tells you that, and then you're like all lit up with excitement, what could it be? Like, and you really don't want to explain it, you just want to receive. And so receiving is exciting. Why do we guard ourselves in receiving so much? Like, just let it go. Like, the more open you are, the more you get to receive. It's phenomenal. She said, Foul-Mouthed Buddhist says, amazing. More maybe I'll have to learn how to read and understand them. Yeah. Validation. Mwah. So that is the spread for today. Any questions? Because I actually do have like 20 minutes before I start my next session. So I have a minute. Any questions? Because this is full moon. And you can also go into my highlights on Instagram, and it says moon rituals. And I do have my full moon rituals because I do a lot of burning on full moons for release. Forgiveness, cord cutting, and then releasing for myself. So those things, and then replacing that energy with gratitude. And so my gratitude list from the prior moon month is always my fire tinder for my sacred fire every full moon. So this is my gratitude list from last full moon, and that will be how I actually light my fire tonight. My fire energy was kind of weak this morning, Lisa, until I meditated. And speaking to you really helped me go into meditation in a different way, which was good. And my meditation was short today because remember I said I'm moving slow. And I knew I wasn't going to do my video earlier because I was like, look, I have to get this meditation in. If I skip meditation, I am not okay. My day is not okay. And so if I would have skipped meditation, I probably would be like at a gentle flicker right now. But I feel pretty good right now. My fire energy is definitely not turned way the fuck up like it was a couple days ago, but it's there. How are you? How's yours? How are you feeling? Yeah, you're right. She says, sometimes fire will be slow. It is okay to allow the embers of your heart, Lotus, to flow. I love that. Because I can actually feel that. Thank you. You speak my language, sister. Yeah, me too. I have to have that music going when I'm in the shower. I'll be like all up in it. Yeah, that is what it looks like. So I will have a new batch of Florida water too by tomorrow. This is how I do them. I put a few bottles out because I make them in bigger batches and then I put them in the smaller bottles. But they actually spend time on my altar, but I'll put them out today. So they'll be charged blue solar because it's blue glass. So they'll be charged by the sun and the full moon tonight. And that's a super full moon tonight, so it'll be nice. But the Florida water is a spiritual cleanse and shield. You can use it either as a bath or you can add it to distilled water and use it as a spray to shield yourself every day or for your space. And this is how they come. This is the size of the bottles. They're 4 ounces. And so if you're interested, you can go on my website or just DM me. And I usually do run out. I make very limited batches every full moon. So it's called Luna Flor, my version of Florida water. So maybe I'll sing and dance right now too, Lisa. Get some more energy moving through me. I love you all. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me. Your most valuable commodities. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I am sorry for any disharmony that I myself have caused. Please forgive me. And thank you for this opportunity. I love you. I love you.